Today we're talking about the distributive property, and this may be something that you have actually already studied at algebra. That's great. We're going to start with a review and then we'll move on to some things that you may not have studied. So let's say we're going to take a problem like 3 times 2x plus 5. Notice that the 2x plus 5 is in parentheses. That means we are grouping that as a polynomial, and this multiplication that we're going to do needs to occur to all the terms in that polynomial. So we are going to multiply 3 times 2x and 3 times 5. Sometimes you'll see that drawn with little arrows like that, or a little rainbow telling you to do 3 times 2x and 3 times 5, which would give you 6x plus 15. You may have also seen this done using the area method. Sometimes it's called the box method. And so if you're doing it this way, what you do is you draw a little box, and on the outside you have a 3 and you have a 2x and a 5 on the top. And what this does is it just kind of helps you to remember what to multiply by. So here I have my 2x multiplied by my 3. 3 times 2x gives me 6x. Then I have my 3 again, and I'm going to multiply it by 5, and 3 times 5 makes 15. Notice I still get 6x plus 15. It doesn't matter what method I use because each one gives me the same answer, a correct answer. Okay, now you can imagine how we would make a problem like this more difficult. We might give you a trinomial instead of a binomial. We might give you a slightly harder number, and that is what we are going to do now. Let's try 12 times, let's say we have 5x squared minus 6x plus 7, 5, 6, 7. Okay, pause the video, use either method you like, and find the product. You are back, and if you are back, that means you have actually done this problem. If you haven't done this problem and you're just like, oh, waiting, pause the video, do it for real. Here you go. All right, now we're back for real, and so I'm gonna do this problem using the box method. So because it's a trinomial, I'm going to have 3 boxes times a monomial, 1 box on that side. And so we have 5x squared minus 6x plus 7. Now we are going to multiply 12 times 5x squared. 12 times 5x squared is going to be 60x squared. And then we are going to multiply 12 times negative 6, and 12 times negative 6 would give me a negative 72x. And finally, we're going to multiply 12 times 7, and 12 times 7 is 84. And if you need to go to a calculator to do that, there is no shame in your game. Go ahead and do that. Now, when I rewrite this out, what I get is 60x squared minus 72x plus 84. Voila, we did it. But now we're going to lead into some of the more difficult kind of Algebra 1 stuff that we're looking at. So you may recall from our exponents unit, when you're multiplying powers with like bases, like x squared times x to the 5th, you add the exponents. So this is the same as saying x to the 7th power, or x to the 2 plus 5 equals 7. And if you had 3x to the 3rd power times, 4x to the 9th power, we can multiply in any order that we like. So we can take our 3 and our 4 and multiply them first, and then our x to the 3rd and our x to the 9th, and then multiply them next. That's called the commutative property. And 3 times 4 is 12, and x to the 3rd times x to the 9th is x to the 3 plus 9, x to the 12th. And there's our answer there. Now I bring this up because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply a monomial like 3x to the 4th times a trinomial, like maybe 5x squared plus 8x minus 10. And we are going to make sure that we are multiplying our 3x to the fourth correctly. So I'm going to use that box method again. And I'm going to draw a box, a 1 by 3 box. So on my one side, I'll have 3x to the fourth, this right here. And up top, I'm going to do 5x squared plus 8x minus 10. We can also think of this as plus negative 10. So first I'm going to multiply my 3x to the fourth by my 5x squared. And 3 times 5 is 15. And x to the fourth times x squared is x to the 4 plus 2 sixth power. Then I'm going to multiply my 3x to the fourth by 8x. And I'm going to start by multiplying my 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. And then I'm going to multiply my x to the fourth times x to the fifth power. And finally, I'm going to multiply my 3x to the fourth times negative 10. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30. And then I'm going to multiply my x to the fourth. And so my answer is 15x to the sixth plus 24x to the fifth minus 30x to the fourth. I'm going to give you one last problem. We're going to come back together as a class, and you will type this answer into the chat. And the question is, what if I have negative 2x to the third power, and I want to multiply it by 5x to the third power minus 2x squared plus 1. What would I get? We'll meet back up and you'll let me know what you got.